What's going on, guys? MurderInc here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today I'm going to be doing a champion spotlight on Zavia. He's a dark elf, attack-based legendary. Looks sweet, does a ton of damage. Let's get right into it. For her A1 we have Transfix. This is a 3-hit attack. Each hit has a 40% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. A2 attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing 5% poison debuff for 2 turns as well. These are both attack based. For her A3, which is the monster part of her kit, we have attacks all enemies. Enemies killed by this skill cannot be revived. Deals damage from all poison debuffs on the target instantly. Poison debuffs will only deal half of the standard damage when this skill hits bosses. So obviously, as we can see, not as good for clan boss unless you're manualing. Some people have fun with it. I've been autoing for so long, I've actually been considering starting to manual again just because I think it's fun. Key thing to look at here, damage based on attack. And we do have an A4. It is a partner bonus. This attacks one enemy, applies a debuff spread effect, taking 4 random debuffs from the target and placing them on all enemies when Bellinor is on the same team. Don't have Bellinor. Probably would be really cool to test out. Unfortunately, I cannot test it out for you today. As far as her aura goes, increases ally attack in all battles by 33%. Let's talk about Zavia. She can be a fantastic addition to your clan boss team, keeping in mind what I said before on how you will have to manual to get the most use out of her. I've been considering trying to make a video. I think it would be really cool since I do have Zavia, Dracomorph, and Elinaro. I think it's possible for me to make a team that can do a ton of damage just based on really fast champions, kind of like a speed team, and actually allowing these champions on auto to just keep burning through the poisons and keep reapplying them as the rounds progress. So if you want to see that, leave a comment below. I'm going to do my best to try and work on that with as much free time as I have. Now let's talk about what Zavia's kit does and where it can be used to its full potential. Zavia, as of right now, from the testing I have done, is the absolute queen of Dragon as well as Fire Knight. Let's take a look at the total stats that I use for Zavia and let me kind of explain what you're seeing on the screen here and why this is all so strong. I gave her 37,000 health, 6,800 attack, which is a ton of attack, 1,500 defense, 143 speed, 72 crit, 194 crit damage, and 220 accuracy. The reason why I didn't give her full crit or a lot of crit damage is as follows. The majority of her damage, poison damage and ignition damage from the debuff snap on her A3, which consumes all the charges of the poison, that is based off of attack, and it cannot crit. I'm going to show you some examples of a auto Fire Knight team that I run personally all the time. Very consistent for me. Then we're going to have some fun and I'm going to manual once we get to the boss, show you how she can actually one-shot the boss. Now let's talk about which route I chose to pursue on Masteries. I did take, as we can see here, Blade Disciple. Not a very common thing to take. As I mentioned before, the only real value crit rate has to Zavia on your team would be if you need her for wave clear. Obviously her A1 and A2 still are dependent on critting, as well as the A3 raw damage can crit. When I say raw damage, I mean the damage outside of the debuff snap. So if you do choose to use Zavia, I really hope you do, and you do need the critical rate, you don't have critical rate buff from someone and you're really struggling on wave clear, you can absolutely take the 5% crit rate talent. As far as the rest of the build, pretty standard one shot. I did take Helm Smasher instead of crit damage for my reasoning before, as crit damage does not scale as well as attack for Zavia due to her A3. As far as gearing, I chose to put her in 3 sets of cruel gear. That does give me 5, 10, 15% ignore defense. She can do well without this. She can also do very well with savage gear. However, to reach the attack level that I reached for this champion's gear in the video, I was only able to use cruel gear and it still works really good. Now let's take a look at how Zavia performs in my typical Dragon 20 run. As you can see there, we do have the A3. Sure, A2. I did throw on some crit rate, as you can see, to help the wave clear a little bit. Obviously, I do have Royal Guards, and they do a majority of the damage in this run, but hopefully we'll be able to see some really cool numbers once we get to the dragon. We do have Arbiter providing the attack up, Dracomorph with the defense down and weaken. As far as dragon progression goes, if you don't know, poisons as well as enemy max health are the best ways to go about approaching downing the dragon boss. Let's hope that cooldowns align here. We don't have a ton of poisons on the boss yet. There we have our defense on weaken. It does not look like she's going to get her A3 off in time. Alright, we didn't get to see the number at the end. Based on the total damage, I know it was around 1,000,000. So, absolute asset, minute and 11 run. Was some unfortunate RNG due to the dying in the second wave with crits. So, as you can see, my best time with this team comp is 44 seconds. She is a great tool. Anyone who has her in trying to cut down some time on the dragon. Maybe you didn't know this was a great way to build her, so hopefully this helps you going forward. Now let's head straight to the Fire Knight and let's see exactly where Zavia really shines. Champion. I'm currently running Lysandra, Dracomorph, Zavia, Luzgius, and I'm not really sure why Hegemon's in here. I don't know what I was testing. I'm pretty sure I didn't test anything. Maybe this was a misclick, but we'll just see how it goes. Doesn't look too bad so far. Sandra is an extremely strong champion in Fire Knight with her increased speed, decreased turn meter, and the exhaustion skill that fully depletes the turn meter on a rather short cooldown if you can make her quick enough, so really cool to see. Now we've made it to the Fire Knight, let's see what we can do. So not the best RNG right there. We did see Dracomorph completely whiff his defense down and weaken on the boss. We have an ally attack from Luzgius, which is pretty much the point in having her in this team. She is blue affinity, so it's not as ideal. Let's see if we can start ramping up some poisons here and have some fun with this. We have 4 poisons on the boss so far. There's the defense down and weaken. Here's her A3. Not quite enough with 4 poisons to one shot. There we saw it. 1 minute and 32 seconds. I probably will leave Hegemon in for this next run. I'm going to set it on auto. And then when we get to the last phase, I'll try to start planning out and ramping up the poisons so you can see an awesome one shot on the boss. One thing that is really cool to notice, with Dracomorph's defense down in weekend, Zavia can do a good amount of A3 damage as we just saw there in wave clear. So not only does she have poisons to add to the benefit of her kit, she does have a hard-hitting A3, which can absolutely improve your times. If you have her and you aren't using her yet, in the Fire Knight, I highly recommend you start. Let's get past the tanky stage 2. Let's move on. Alright, now let us start the process in setting up this one-shot Fire Knight. Start with an ally attack, lower his shield number. Let's increase everybody's speed here. Got 2 poisons there, not terrible. Don't really want any buffs outside of poisons and defense down and weaken on the boss at this time. We got lucky there with 3 poisons. So far, this is looking good. Only one poison there, not the best, however. Really don't want any of these to land, so let's go with an A1. Alright, perfect. It didn't land. Defense down and weaken on the boss. What is that? 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's go with an ally attack to try and add some more poisons. We did not get any more. Let's go ahead and use that A3 and see what we can do to the boss. I'm going to lower this to 1 time speed to see if we can see the number. 1.2 million. So had we had those final 2 slots, the boss definitely would have died. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for this run. That was how I got the 56-second run. It actually happens more common than you would think. Zavia is an absolute queen in Fire Knight 20. I know it is a very difficult dungeon to progress through, so if you have Zavia, hopefully this video helps you out a lot in learning about the attack benefit as well as decent crit rate for wave clear. Before we finish off, let's go over book value very quickly. A1, simple damage increase. A2, probably the more important one, 25% increased chance of placing the 5% poisons can absolutely help a lot when you're trying to auto these runs. Obviously, as mentioned, A3 damage is huge and important. We do have 20% increased damage there, so that helps a lot. Did have to book a champion. I think she's a great choice. She can be your farmer. She has 2 AoEs and then 1 single target attack, but it is a multi-hit, so there's a lot of added benefit to the value there. Alright guys, that wraps up the video. I've been having tons of fun making these YouTube videos. A lot of fun on Twitch. Thank you for everyone who's been stopping by, saying you love my content. Thanks for doing it. Really appreciate you guys. It means a lot when you come onto Twitch and give me a shout out like that, so thank you all for that. Huge thank you to my patrons. Hopefully you're enjoying the account makeovers I'm doing, having a lot of fun increasing your clan boss damage. I'm going to be doing a few more champion spotlights back to back in a row here. I'm going to be shooting out a lot of videos, so if you're enjoying this, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.